Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we are going to be discussing Love in Translation. So I don't have any hot goss for you guys on the top of the episode, but we're gonna hop in. But before we do, I just want to quickly, again, as I've been doing with all the other episodes, I'm gonna keep doing this until this is over. But announcement again, I am dealing with medical issue at the moment that could potentially mean surgery in the probably somewhat near future. So I am kind of behind and taking my time through getting episodes out to you guys just because I am in pain all the time. And also trying to keep my job going because I'm going to be off with that too. So I try my best to make sure I get them out to you as soon as possible. But just bear with me. You should get Love is Blind episode. I know that came out already today, so I'm recording on Wednesday. You should have that by Monday. Hopefully I still have to talk to Sharon about whether or not she can hop on with me on that, which that will be prioritized for that reason. But I'm doing my best. So without further ado, let's hop into the reason that we are here. Love in Translation, Season 1, Episode 7. Aniyo, thank you, I think is how we say this. Anyways, so we're back where we left off with Tripp asking Yen on a date. She tells him, I think you're great, but I like Kahlil, but he's not really getting it, because how she says Kahlil, it sounds like clearly, so he's not quite understanding. He says, oh, you think I have a good heart? He says, no. But she says, thanks, but no. And he does eventually get it. But she says, hey, she likes somebody else. He's drama, basically. That's what she really wanted to say. Anyway, meanwhile, Dylan is asking Juliana out on the date, for which she says yes. So easy peasy. So then we see Tripp alone in his room, sulking. But he does say, you know what, there is really only one woman here that I can see my future with. And that's a lady. So he does find her, he asks if they can talk. And she says, so do you like Yen? Because I saw you asking her out on a date. And he says, no. I love that Yen said no to me because then it gives me opportunity to talk to you and make things better, I guess. But anyways, she says, listen, it's either always been, Giselle or me, which is happening here? And he says, there's only you. So he asks her out on the date and she says, do you still have my ring? And he says, yes, I do. I still have the ring. And he gives her back the ring and that's a yes to the date. So yeah, then we see Kahlil in his room. Heidi is also there. And she says to him, you didn't kiss. But he says, I couldn't do that. Your culture, I'm respecting your culture, which is really great. I love that he is. And he tells her, be you. And I love that he said that because I think whether or not she understands what he said, I think it's important because she's questioning whether or not she should be herself in order to, not be left behind, I guess. But she does still worry because, he picked Jennifer for the kissing thing. He now picked Imane to go on the date. So she's like, what the hell? And he does feel bad that, maybe I shouldn't have picked Jennifer. They're not getting along, whatever. But they do cuddle, so that's a start, right? Anyways, let's get to the reason that we really are here. So we're outside Dylan's room. It's 12:23 in the morning. And we see, someone in his bed who he's kissing. It's not to lie. And it's down, well, not Sarah. Sarah would never. It's Yam. And then it's clear that they're fucking. Oh boy. The next morning, he confirms as such that yes, they did. He basically explains that she felt upset that he was taking Juliana out on the date. And she went to his room and they were talking. And she kind of mentioned that she wanted to leave. And he didn't want her to leave. He tried comforting her, and that led to him fucking her, I guess. I don't even know. So then he goes to the guys and he says, listen, I got something I need to tell you. Don't want to do it here. So, they go out to the beach to talk, and he does mention, and it's in the moment that he does feel like he stepped out of line. So, but anyways, he kind of mentioned, I guess, after she said she was upset, he apparently asked her, do you want to sleep in my bed? Right? But for fuck's sakes, he said they slept all of 3 minutes. You don't say. Come on, dude. Now all he could think of is to lie. And how he's probably fucked this up. But he says he is going to tell her, and he is worried that she might leave. So now Kahlil and Imane are on their date, and they're going kayaking. And I wrote, because I clocked this, my girl speaks Spanish. It's impressive, because she definitely, her first language is clearly French, so it's impressive. I mean, I know French and Spanish are very similar, and Italian, but still. Imane says, my friends, they would probably describe me as being annoying, and I'm probably single because of my temper. Well, great. So now we see Yam and Jennifer talking, and Yam does tell Jennifer that her and Dylan had sex. And she says, he is so naughty. She tells Jennifer that she wants no one to know, so don't say anything. And Jennifer says she's not going to say anything. We'll see. Yam is concerned that Zulai is going to kill somebody. Might be her, might be Dylan, maybe both, but someone would probably be killed. That is true. Zulai is going to kill somebody. So now we see Tripp and Lady, and they're going to be going to a fish market. And he's actually fishes, and he does eat what he catches. So it's kind of, important to him. But there are people at this fish market who are basically fighting for his business at this point. It's pretty funny, actually. But he says he wants salmon. Lady wants snapper. So we'll come back to this. Now, we're with Dylan and Juliana, and they're going to be doing like a barbecue type situation. She tells him that she didn't think she would be going on this date, and that she actually wanted to tell him to take Yam instead. Y'all, as soon as she says Yam, because he doesn't understand what she's saying, up until she said Yam, and he's shitting a brick. She tells, I know, I feel, and when he hears this, he thinks, oh shit, she knows. She actually doesn't, spoiler alert, but she will. Alright, so back with Kahlil and Imane. She's given up on the kayaking. She's over it, and he's over the kayaking and the date. She tells him that he's useless. Meanwhile, she's doing absolutely nothing. And, she wants to go swim. He's like, wait, go, because he's so over it. He's trying to get into a coconut, and he puts rum in the coconut once he gets it open, and he drinks some, she actually likes it, blah, blah, blah. But they're both on the same page with each other that they just stay friends. There's no connection here, and that's that. Date over. Meanwhile, Tulai is back at the house doing an enchantment. She said her ancestors were shamans, so that's what she's doing. She's like, I might not be on this date with him, but she'll make sure that he is thinking about her. Trust me, he's thinking about you. He's shitting a brick every time he does. Back with Tripp and Lady, he has a dictionary out ready to help him interpret some words here, and he's trying to help talk with her, so I think it's helping. She tells him, in her future, she does want to be a lawyer, and he's like, oh, okay, like, order in the court. I said, dumbass, that's a judge. I mean, judges are lawyers too, but anyway. And he's like, that's really crazy for somebody who's so young, so ambitious. And when she finally says that she is 28 years old, he hears Ocho, and he's like, that's 8. And he starts laughing. He's like, oh, shit, I thought you were 20. So, yeah. He wants to be married and have kids, and she would like to have 2 or 3 kids. And if they have a girl, she would actually like to name one of her daughters Lucia after her mom. And he actually gets very emotional with this, because he's like, that's what my mom did. Yeah, I guess his mom named his sister after maybe a grandma or something, and this kind of made him think about his mom, because his mom actually had cancer, battled it for about 1.5 years, I believe, but she's okay, she's alive. But it just made him think of her, and he does want to tell her, but I think he's struggling with opening up about this. So Juliana, we're back with Dylan and Juliana, says it's hard to see Yam hurt, but it also sucks because she likes him, and it's also tough to see him with other women. So even though she's like thinking about Yam, but she shouldn't, but she clearly is a person with a big heart, but she's thinking about that, but she's also thinking, I want this time too to get to know you. So it's a catch-22, I guess. Back at the house, this is when shit hits the fan. Back at the house, Jennifer tells Giselle that Yam and Dylan had sex. Girl, you were just told a second ago to not tell nobody. Her reasoning, I told Giselle because she's my friend and I figured she wouldn't tell anybody. It's not her secret. It's not your secret either. It's the girl's secret who she clearly doesn't give a shit about. Right? So in walks Yam while they're having this conversation, and they quickly change the conversation, and Giselle then says, Dylan kind of wants everyone. All these women are just chasing after him, but she's like, I won't be someone who's fighting after these guys. So I guess she's basically accused, this is so weird, basically I guess she's accusing Yam of being desperate and like chasing after a guy who's like a player. And Yam was like, so what's your point? Right? And she's like, what if we want to? Like, what's it to you? And then she does, then I guess kind of tells Giselle, I believe, maybe I'm getting this incorrect, I guess she tells Giselle, you're just mad because no one wants you. Giselle, well, I mean, that's not incorrect at this point. Giselle says, fuck you. And then she says, like, you're chasing after him and you look like you can be his mom. Yikes. I mean, I don't know how old Yam is, I can't remember, but I mean, Dylan is 21. Then Giselle yells out to everybody who can hear that Yam fucked Dylan. And Tulai is there, and Sarah's there, and Tulai wasn't quite catching what was going on. She's like, what? And Sarah says that Yam and Dylan fuck. And Tulai says, Dylan is dead to me. And meanwhile, too, during all this, Yam actually goes to Jennifer and says, did you say something? And Jennifer's like, no, who then? Who then? Because she probably only told you, Jennifer, so you're the only person who could have. But that is it for this episode. I know it's short. Usually the episodes are short, but usually I have some hot cross here, but I didn't know hot cross. Did it on Married at First Sight. I have to get some more for you guys. But next time on, yep, Yam admits and confirms that yes, they did have sex. Tulai is disappointed, and Tulai is done. Kahlil asks Heidi if she wants to sleep with him and cuddle or whatever. She kind of, I don't know, maybe interpreted incorrectly, but kind of says like, I didn't come all the way over here to just have sex. He didn't say that, so anyway. And next, we are also going to have the men narrowing down to 2 women. But before they do, they're going to be going on a dance, go dancing on a group date with everybody. And I guess from there, they will make a decision as to who is going to be staying, because they're going down to the wire. But that is it for Love in Translation for this week.